on how action-packed it is going to be. Do you go dead into the center and look for those kills as fast as possible? You know, based on the jump leader here's priority, I'm going to say that is kind of the thought process here for this squad. It looks like possibly on the back half of bunker. Not actually bunker, excuse me. I forgot what the name of this corridor is. Yes, market. There you go.
This is a great. This is the most like FPS arena feeling area of the map to me. This feels like a Call of Duty map.
Yeah, I completely agree, but the one thing I will pose is that anybody with territorial zone control abilities really thrive in this environment just because of how many kind of tight corridors there are. There is a little bit of an open section, but they all lead to an escape route within the section compared to, again, some of those small areas. It does look like the boys here really have not been pressured when it comes to the drop, and it's going to be a full market over them.
Oh, the legendary skin on the Prowler. I love it. Pull the Prowler back out.
Is it the one with the angel wings?
Yeah, it's almost like I can't tell which torpo or which type of ancient history it kind of comes from. It like almost wants to be Egyptian, but it's kind of like a neo-Egyptian.
It's like Egyptian Art Deco.
Yeah.
It feels very Paladin-esque to me, right? It's like the Lightbringer or something like that, right? It feels so like, you know, Uther walked out of nowhere and was like, this is it.
Yeah.
Slide jump.
It's have you seen the other legendary one for the Prowler? The one that's it's the same thing but like covered in barnacles. It's like it's a ship. It's like you took that skin and you just threw it in the ocean.
Like probably what the Leviathan legs look like.
Yeah, exactly.
Full of that. Like that's straight up what your Prowler looks like. That's wild.
That's cool.
Look
cool there. So we talked a lot about the game kind of introducing it in Europe, and we might have a lot of new viewers here watching in North America who are just tuning in for the first time hearing about Apex. It's only 8 days old. It's definitely possible there are people that have not heard about this game yet. And right now we got Shroud playing a character named Bangalore. How do characters work in a battle royale?
So specifically for Apex Legends, when the developers decided to create this game, specifically the two character designers that you know we got to make sure we give credit to, Griffin Dean and Steve DeRose, when they created these characters, they wanted to create something that the community could connect to within the Titanfall universe, but more importantly, they wanted to create something that you could feel helped you, but didn't necessarily take over the game. They didn't necessarily make these characters to have a press-to-win function with their abilities. Think of it more of like an augmentation. So every character has a passive. Bangalore specifically, when she gets shot at, she gets a huge movement speed buff. Then she has a tactical ability, which you can see as the Q on the bottom of the screen. That's the smoke. So you essentially have 3 smoke grenades that come out of a launcher, and you get 2 essential rounds of that. And then her ultimate ability is an artillery strike. So you have the ability to both use the tactical aspect of one or the damage aspect of the other, but it isn't so overpowering that you don't have the opportunity to still hit your shots and get those eliminations.
And we saw a lot of this within Europe, and anybody who's been keeping track of Apex Legends streams, you know that Bangalore works very, very well with the Bloodhound, which is also a part of the roster here for Shroud. As we see, I believe it's Skadoodle there onto the Bloodhound. And what that does is when you have that smoke grenade coming out with the Q from Shroud, he has the opportunity to use, I believe, Beast of the Wild is the name of his ultimate, see through it and hunt people down with an increased mobility. It's one of the most common pairings that we see today within Apex Legends. That being said, we're 8 days into the meta development here, so we can probably expect a lot more as time goes on. But for now, Shroud using an RE45, not a gun you see people pop off with very often, but it's Shroud. So 2 kills here for the squad.
This thing chucks bullets. Cool. Sounds good.
Mission accomplished. All the boxes have been checked here for Shroud's wish list.
We got to see the Prowler skin for just a moment, and then he switches it for the Spitfire, your favorite.
Yeah, the large ammunition is part of the reason I do adore the Spitfire, along with the opportunity to be heavy bullets rather than the devotion with the energy bullets. Energy bullets, one of the lowest, and man, look at that tracking here. Just a couple of jukes, a little Wazdoing out from his opponent, but Shroud is able to sniff it out very, very quickly. And then look at that flank. My goodness here. What is that, 5 kills over the past 30 seconds here?
Doesn't matter. You see a body and they're going to go down if Shroud's on the enemy team. Does a great job there getting himself something. Now he's going to go swap over to the wingman, and there is what you were talking about a little bit earlier is once you get the wingman into the hands of individuals that have that precise movement, good things are bound to happen no matter what's going on.
Yeah, I only brought up Siegel in that circumstance just purely based on when I think of him. For some reason, I have McCree in my head over and over again, and that very much is that gun. But in this situation, yeah, Shroud is clearly a very, very skilled shooter when it comes to the wingman. Probably a little bit of that Deagle practice he's had in the past. Look at DrDisrespect, though.
Literally one shot.
The rivals.
No shield.
DrDisrespect making it no secret he wants to take down Shroud in this tournament. especially after Shroud said that DrDisrespect didn't have a chance.
I'm doing it.
I'm healing. Good shit.
Didn't even, the little video that we've been showing all day, didn't even care about who was on his roster. Who's on his team? Nah, doesn't matter.
Not important.
Yeah, and it's not like those are names to scoff at, right? That's a very big thing to point out here, is he looked at that team, even with DrDisrespect, and was like, you know, with members like this and others with a background within shooters and battle royales, just confidence being displayed. And for now, though, when looking at least at what we've been able to glance out of the two, it does feel like at least the pacing and tempo set by Shroud seems to, if the trend of Europe kind of carries over here to North America, be working out better here for a couple of points.
5 of the 3 teams are running Bangalore Wraith.
Interesting to be able to see those two together. I'm not surprised to see Bangalore and Wraith purely based on the conversation we had earlier over mid-game characters who have skirmish capabilities that are going to be efficient within the mid-game. Both of those thrive in those environments, and considering we're looking more towards the kill potential opportunities for the scoring system in this format, I'm not too surprised to see that that's where people are headed.
They're 2 legends that definitely are capable of repositioning and finding an opportunity out of that reposition. Specifically with the Wraith, it's a very easy outplay. I talked about it a little bit earlier. If you have to pick one character in every game that kind of is your highlight character, the one that you're going to have all the Twitch clips for, and that's going to be Wraith in a lot of these ways. Because of her ability to reposition, because of the speed boost that she gets with both of her abilities, it's a great opportunity for you to kind of get a nice little flank, pop the mouse cursor on the heads, and get yourself those eliminations.
And folks, if you were watching these streams and you're like, man, they cut away from Shroud, that's my boy, why'd they cut away from him? Hey, every single one of these players is streaming live on their Twitch channel. You can go and tune into them. So be sure to follow. You can see the URL of whoever we are watching up in the upper left at the moment. Be sure just to check around that Apex Legends category. A lot of fantastic streamers there right now.
They're fighting over here, though.
There is a little black circle extension over on the right of your screen that has a list of every single player who is competing today.
Can we also just comment on DrDisrespect's webcam right now, in that he's literally floating inside of a Wraith portal?
It is pretty sweet.
Yep. He's got so many good scenes. I'm excited to see them all as we cut around today. Let's actually listen in to his team and see how they're strategizing.
Placing a portal.
On me. One down.
Coming in, dude.
You got pulse?
Yep.
Bloodhound up top, I think.
Crap, he's just going. I need it.
He's definitely up here.
He's up high. He's up high. Knock him.
Let's go, dude. Yo,
The whole squad.
gold R301.
Doc, you want that R301?
I got one already.
I don't really want it.
It's gold. Fully kitted. Oh my god, can I just get up here, please?
You can still take it if you want the gold
Yeah,
one.
I'll take it. Skull piercer rifle, precision choke up here. Just FYI.
Choke.
Okay.
Yo, good work on that damn team, dude. Wrecked.
Taking a moment to heal.
Need to recharge my shields.
Where's that gold?
I'm going.
Didn't you grab it?
Is it upstairs?
It's still there. He's on the outside balcony, northwest corner.
Northwest corner. Gotcha.
Now, we mentioned that 5 of the teams are running Bangalore Wraith. A bit of overlap here. 5 of the teams are also running Bloodhound Bangalore. So we talked about the synergy between those players. Right now, those are the top 3 picked legends: Bangalore, Bloodhound, and Wraith.
I think it's fair to say that, you know, we, again, not trying to talk about more about the Bloodhound and the Bangalore and the synergy between those two, but then also when considering the other two because of the mid-game pressure that they provide. But then lastly, Wraith within a composition of all those 3 are together, she still provides enough team utility and mobility within the portal and her ultimate that I feel like she makes up for some of that maybe utility you would expect in that 3rd character role, compositionally speaking here for these teams. So I feel like, you know, if I was to give a cookie cutter comp here for week number 1, it feels like it's got to be that, right? You have Bloodhunter, Bangalore, and 3rd up with the Wraith.
Makes a lot of sense. Go check in with Kings Canyon team, who right now, you'll be looking at the kills. We got, you know, what is it,
All right, gentlemen.
Richard at 1, we got Ninja at 2, we got Dizzy at, how many is it, Jump?
He's got 15, boys. I told you, it's going to be the Dizzy show today. This man is an absolute monster. By the way, I would love to find a place to actually pick up that little knife at a
would you like an heirloom crate?
That would be an heirloom crate would be fantastic. But taking a look, we have 4 squads left, 11 players. That's 8 potential that they can eliminate, and already we're seeing Dizzy at 15 eliminations.
He is absolutely racking them up.
Most broken.
We've seen a few people that have the heirloom crate. Very rare crate to get. The highest rarity, more rare than legendary. And right now, Wraith, the only character with an heirloom skin.
It's hard to get the turbo, like get it fully get it. Like all that stuff is crazy.
The only way you can get a melee weapon skin.
A melee.
Melee.
Where's my melee?
I like to have. We just had our melee. It was sandwiches.
One thing we should note, though, Dizzy is clearly a lethal target and somebody we have to keep a closer eye on throughout the entirety of this tournament, is the fact that they have ended up losing King Richard.
They have.
So being a 2 versus 3 looking forward might be a problem at the back end of this game. We still have 11 people within this roster. You know, I feel like at this point we're heavily relying on that skill shooting capability that you have already highlighted there out of Dizzy, right? You know, I'm not taking away from Ninja. The guy is very good at battle royals as well, but it's clear Dizzy is setting the tone right now, and he's got to take that momentum and carry through over this next skirmish because they have someone here around this hook.
He is put in a pretty advantageous position right now because he's got a legendary armor. He's got a legendary armor as well as an epic helmet. So he's going to get the maximum damage reduction across the board, which is going to help him out a whole lot. And though we do on his stream actually see him run Wingman a lot, he's actually decided to go for something like the Spitfire. So he's got more rounds in the chamber, which gives him, hilariously enough, more of an opportunity to 1v2, to 1v3, and immediately he's going to point, he's going to click. That's going to be elimination number 16 if he can get the final confirmation on that. He's going to try to fall down. There's a couple members left alive. He's going to have to be forced to phase and look around to see if he can find anybody, but another elimination for him.
Yeah, it was a very good job as well, as you saw with the tracking, being able to stop the kick of the Spitfire, and again, coming through, just lasering that down. Dizzy able to rid of Spectre. I do believe that there should be a third here out of this roster for Ninja and Dizzy.
No, he was able to get him out. When you see the bleed out on the top of the kill counter, that means that they're able to secure all 3 of them, and immediately that's 2 kills for him. That's 1 for Ninja, and they're going to have some pretty good spots.
Go hop in with Ninja. See how things are going. Same team, same fight, just a slightly different perspective here.
Should be noted that we are looking at a very tense circle as well at this point in time here for Ninja and friends. The fact that the corridor is moving in very close into the Cascade area and into that river section is really going to be able to set them back. So it's important that they keep together as a unit. More importantly, just don't get pinched in. This is easy to get 3, 4, 5-man team, or excuse me, not 5-man team, but 5 teams come in and pinch you.
Oh, really good shots are going to have to come out from Dizzy right now because they are actually, in what I think to believe, kind of one of the worst spots that you can be in when you don't have the high ground. When you find yourself at the bottom of this little ravine, you find yourself at such a disadvantage because they can essentially peek over the edge, and there's really not much that you're able to do as a result. And so they go ahead, they go back, they don't engage, and now they find themselves on even ground. There's a couple shots going off. He hasn't broke it just yet. Ninja does a really good job at throwing down the tactical smokes. They're from the Bangalore, and they're going to try to see if they can loop around and try to have it full clip in the ammo. That's going to be a lot of shots. A dink, a knockdown for him, but they're not all done yet.
I think the biggest thing to note there, too, is Dizzy not having an instant reload is due to the gun. Using the iframe after getting flanked and pressure behind, Ninja's got to be able to get that pressure in the downtime. Comes through, flanks him on the side, calls it a day, and look at that. We found ourselves a new champion, and maybe rightfully so.
And the best part about all of this is, yeah, I can hype up Dizzy the whole time, but if you listen to the communication that him and Ninja are going throughout all of this is, I'm going to go here, you're going to go there, I'm going to hit a shot, you're going to hit a shot, champion banner pops up, they get the dub.
Yeah, like even at that last skirmish, right, we saw Dizzy clearly at a bad spot. He had a flank on a guy, or a guy flanks him that he doesn't know if he can deal with, already burnt a little bit bullets on the Spitfire, but in that time where he's able to heal, calling out where he is, drop a couple of pings, and Ninja with a clean flank.
And we saw the first game we saw secured over in Europe was like a 29 kill game. This one definitely 20 plus. We can go jump on in with Team MDK. This is Ammunition, Beanans, and Little Lexi.
Jesus, the loot, man.
They've played a few games already and not had all that much luck. I think they've been getting some rough drops, but they'll be playing from a little bit from behind here.
I hear a team underneath me.
They are
kind of
pretty distant from the center of the circle at this point, actually landing over towards that Thunderdome section a little bit that you were highlighting earlier. But not going to be pressure for the circle for some time. It's just whether or not they can actually survive these early corridor fights. And look at that. Already you can set the tone. Good nade there. Good couple of shots out from the wingman. Oh, but a flank. The Pathfinder advantage using the grapple up, and she clutches it out here.
She has no health.
Ammunition, just nailing it there.
Game.
Behind us, up here.
You hear the call-outs coming concise communication, something that I think everybody thus far has done a really good job at it, making sure that they know exactly where things are. Now, those little markers that you see on the screen, Ammunition's actually playing the Bloodhound, so passive from the Bloodhound gives you that opportunity to see the footprints and know exactly where they are. Oh, goes down just a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to highlight that she had no HP. All it would take was one bullet from almost any gun there. Able to pull back a little bit here and get the res out from the ally. It looks like Lexi was able to step up for that, but then the damage to the animation is just one of those. Sometimes you got to try and stick it, and it doesn't work out.
Kings Canyon up at 31 points right now after their 26 kill win.
Right there.
26 kills plus the 5 for the win. Meets 31 there. The Reed's Money Team, Choco Taco and Visions also racking in quite a big number there.
It has really good damage.
To get some victory. They had Huskers also. Huskers, the one player on that team we haven't talked about, dropping 16 kills as well. Visions getting 6, Choco Taco getting 8.
Pretty outnumbered with the fact that we like
Team MDK. Just trying to get some momentum going.
And I had no healing.
Trying to look for it here. They're running, at least here, a Bloodhound along with the Wraith, and it looks like the Lifeline. They don't have that many defensive capabilities outside of the Lifeline with this composition, so might be something they look towards, right? Like a Gibraltar is something that can help stall and kind of post up those things in zone control. That being said, we haven't seen very much Gibraltar. So,
Gibraltar actually has yet to be picked in North America. Nobody is playing Gibraltar.
Nobody likes the tanky...
I mean, we had this conversation over the break of when we were taking a look at the numbers and seeing what a lot of these players, or what legends these players were deciding to choose. And when you find yourself in a format such as Twitch Rivals, where kills mean so much to your overall score, you're not really going to find the defensive characters kind of taking play as much because you need to just get the kills. You need to hard rotate. Gibraltar has a little bit of a slower movement speed.
Yeah.
Yes, he's great at defensive, and I think that in competitive play, he will be one of the most contested legends across the board. I know that you share this sentiment as well with me, Dreadnought. But when you think about that, you have to have the ones that have the offensive.
Okay, so I just want to point out, when I said that they had just gotten a game with 16 kills, that was this game. He now has 16. Choco Taco got 10. And Visions got 7. Was that 32? 33? 33 kills on their first game. Are you kidding me?
Plus the 5 points on a victory.
Plus the 5 points?
38 points. Looks like Kings Canyon's going to have themselves a little run for their money here.
Kings Canyon Reed's Money Team.
It should be noted that that's only one lower than the highest kill game that we've seen so far. 34 was the breaking point there for EU. So the fact that they opened with a 1 game short of what was the best of EU, feel like North America is going to bring some action.
They're trying to heat it up. Jump over here with Summit, Josh, and Bye-Bye.
How'd it go again?
In fourth. Bye-bye.
I'm proud to say I was killed by Josh OG one time.
Oh, yeah?
In
Look at
Apex
you.
Legends, my first day.
Look at that, Josh, with the beautiful little Hawaiian shirt.
Oh, I like his
I like it.
I like his little...
Got the hula girl in the background.
His little pudgy stormtrooper.
If it was a not pudgy stormtrooper, would you be as big of a fan?
Yeah, what you got against pudgy stormtroopers,
I don't
man?
know.
Yeah.
No,
I used to be a pudgy stormtrooper with...
I said I liked the pudgy stormtrooper. It's 2008. It's 2019. We're in. It's thick in right now.
I just want to know if the little bit of chubbiness helps him aim a little bit better.
Nice shot.
Like if maybe it's steadability within the hands.
That was
or
the
like,
problem with stormtroopers. They were too skinny.
They're too skinny. We needed to put some fat on them.
Round 2.
Right here with Bye-Bye.
I got a skull piercer for you on the
Yeah, beautiful.
7 squads left, 20 players left alive.
Here it is.
Still a pretty good opportunity for them. And again, we find ourselves with a lot of the legends that they've picked thus far. We've got Pathfinder, a Wraith, as well as I believe that's a Bloodhound. Yes, it is, coming out of Josh OG. Easy combination, a great opportunity for rotations there. And again, good opportunity for them to get themselves a little bit of extra loot. And the way it's looking at right now, they're looking pretty kitted coming into the late game.
One of the best parts about Twitch Rivals is you get to meet all these different players. You see Reed's Money going to jump on top there with that win. Definitely flying up there, but DrDisrespect also bringing it to the game here right now at 27. And we get to see a lot of different types of streams, people with different sorts of setups. Right now, Bye-Bye running a completely clean stream minus just a little Twitch Rivals logo over the top of his weapon loadout. So if you're someone that's like, I don't want to see your face, I just want to see some good gameplay, this is your boy.
I mean, hey, you saw the standings as well. The Broys, the members consisting of Skadoodle, Justin, and our fan favorite Shroud, only sitting at 11 points at the very beginning. And when you see such great games from members and teams that we weren't expecting, once the ones that we are expecting to get hot actually get hot, we might have a pretty interesting situation at the top of this leaderboard.
Yeah, I think it's going to be brewing something here on the back end here. The question is really just, is it all of the entirety of the big boys that we know, or where are the new ones coming in? And, you know, for anybody who's played Battle Royales, I think it's very clear that everybody you know to be the OGs at one don't always pack the same punch in a different one, and they breed new talent within each one, and I can't help but feel like we get kind of glimmers of that here within Apex Legends.
Yep, and we're going to get to see a kind of another strategy that a lot of these players are going to be employing for what you saw just there. There's an interesting little thing that these players are able to do with these balloons right now, and Caleb, you know, you talked about it a little bit earlier. You can look up once you get to the top of the balloon, continue to look up, hit the free look button, and then you have this opportunity to get near certain obstacles. Use that hover to not drop you in the vertical height, and then use that to actually glide farther than what you normally could.
R99 with the stabilizer is nasty.
Come back here. Fuck the other guys.
I mean, to be fair, at that range, I would argue that is a little bit of skill as well there on the side of Babai. Like, that isn't just all the kidding capability and able to pull that down there. But it is, I would say, the biggest ounce of forgiveness is not only that stability with the barrel stabilizer, but, again, clips. They mean a lot in this game, especially if you are not a master ace like a majority of the people we are kind of watching here.
Summit racking it up right now.
I like this strategy that they actually said. Babai thought about engaging on that other side, and Josh said, no, screw those guys. Let's get the kills on this other side first. Babai rotates across around, and the second that he sees his team pick up that squad wipe, he's immediately flipping a 180 and going in the other direction. And just like that, he gets a full clip knockdown on the R99.
Yeah, and the portal is now going to enable the back end there, both with Summit and Josh OG now to be able to move up and threaten it in, right? Summit now taking a couple of shots as it looks like they're going to go track down the back end of the zip line. They see a member over, grenades kind of being tossed around. I believe that was an Arc Star. There they are, 2 targets, the last 2 after the victim. See if they can win this 3 versus 2. High ground in favor of the opponent, and that longbow hopping right there.
Yep, luckily though, Babai does have a Phoenix kit, which heals both your shields and your health to full HP. Gives them an opportunity and across the board. Now they have 4 squads left, 11 players left alive. Make that down. It's down the bleed out, which means the ring was able to catch him down by his teammate. Josh OG's able to get that knock, and so now 3 squads are left alive. He hears a little bit of something on the back end, so Babai is just going to pop that phase by the Wraith and reposition himself and get near his team.
Doesn't have a portal, though. That's one of those situations where you may consider that portal play, especially with the Bangalore ultimate coming out, being able to zone off that choke. It's going to threaten this team back. They're going to have to consider whether or not this circle is going to be a threat, but there's a fat old balloon behind them that they know they have the opportunity to teleport in case things get a bit hairy.
I'm getting into a spot here.
Oh, two.
Great little decision by Babai not to fully engage that. He spotted an enemy, said Josh OG. They do find themselves pinched, so they have to try to figure out how they're going to play this appropriately.
Yeah, but look at this flank on the back end from Babai. They got eyes on the other side, and then he's able to get a solo knock there, drawing all the attention. Now we'll see if actually Summit and Josh OG are able to pressure while everybody's paying attention to Babai. Gets the 1 versus 1 in the fog, and he wins that one all day.
He just doesn't miss.
1 squad left.
1 squad left remaining.
Comms you love to hear when you're in Apex Legends. 1 squad left. Only falls behind, what, you are the champion, probably.
Yeah, for sure. Picks up a Mastiff. One of the few legendary guns. There is no way to pick up more ammunition for this weapon. It just comes with ammunition, and you have to use what you find it with.
Do you guys have any big shield heals?
I have the team right in front of me.
Easily the most powerful shotgun in the game.
Do you have any big shield heals?
And they've already found the last squad.
Our 1 already gets knocked. Now there's going to be 2 left alive. The double speed up, Babai is able to stack them through to try to see if he can find that final enemy. He doesn't matter about anything else. He sees him at the bottom. That's 1. That's 2 massive shots. It's going to be able to get the knock. They see the last member. He's going to try to get the laser. He does. Champion banner pops up. Another dub for the crew.
This guy is absolutely insane. That was just absolutely immaculate aim from Babai there. We were talking a lot about Summit and Josh OG, Babai doing so much work. What I believe is their first win.
23, so 32 we have right now.
Josh OG and Summit also getting 7 kills here. Go jump on over with DrDisrespect. Viz.
Disrespect.
Real crafty.
I love their name, by the way. The hybrid of the 3 kind of mesh together. It's beautiful.
That's pretty solid. Zadok's got a fully kitted, was it R301?
Yeah, that's a full golden R301, right? And then look at that, Vis with a Mastiff.
Guys are in a good position right now. 4 squads remaining.
Yeah, gunshots here.
They currently are on a 13-kill game.
I think they're fighting in this compound.
It's a little awkward to be with a Wingman Mastiff. Mid-range, really long range, you're going to struggle. Not in the long range there, though, especially with that Bangalore smoke coming out. Will he go with the ultimate here? Maybe in this choke as they push up into the market. Nice shots there coming out with that Wingman, along with the help there out of, I believe, that was out of Disrespect.
Great little reposition there the second that he was able to see the frag grenade to come out. Arc Star in hand. He wants to try to get something. No, a couple more. 2 squads are still left remaining. But now you find yourself in a situation where the ring is closing in. You have to find yourself a better situation. He ends up dropping the Mastiff.
My gun was losing its shit, dude. It just kept shooting.
Yeah, it was actually, what happened, I believe, was it was just shooting 1 bullet or something there for a second. Either way, you got it figured out. Now we'll see if they are able to make it in a circle. There's a portal on the back end. You can look at the UI in the top left-hand side to be able to see where those begin and end.
Chasing the wall.
5 points right here.
They got enough meg hits and heals that this isn't going to be too problematic.
We saw this a lot in Europe, though. Players pushing outside the ring, knowing they'll probably take some circle damage, but getting kills because of it is all that matters. And Reed's money team just continuing to play well as they put on more points here. Currently on a, what is this, 12-14 kill game over on their side of things.
Broys get another 14 points in their game number 2. So getting a little bit better. They went from 11 to 14, so they're making slight improvements in their play, but they're going to have to keep it up because Reed's money team, as well as King's Canyon, are definitely popping off right now.
Justin had 11 kills, Skadoodle had 6, Shroud with only 3 in that game.
What I will say, though, is we are already seeing how close the top half of this bracket is going to be. Between second place all the way down to 6th, 5 points are separating those 5 teams.
Yeah, and to cross-compare that to Europe, by the end of the day within Europe, between 1st and 4th and 4th and 8th, it was over 100-point difference for each and every one of those in both categories. So it'll be interesting to see, do we see it expand outward as time goes on, or is it going to be that dense? I agree with you. I think it's going to be, NA is a very, almost like we look at the top half of the pack and the bottom half, and it's like who can compete, but it's going to be tense at the top for sure. Nice peacekeeper there. Normally you'd be like, oh yeah, I'd go ahead and pick that up. But when you got a Mastiff on the back end, you're like, why take the downgrade, mate?
I'm really curious again to see kind of where we see the standings at about that 2.5 hour mark, because that's when these players are going to start really getting in their groove. Some of these guys have been streaming from the very beginning. I literally woke up this morning and King Richard was playing, saying, all right, guys, I'm going to stream until the tournament starts. And that was at 5 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
So he played over 7 hours before he even started the tournament. So once you get some of these other players, they get a little bit deeper and they start actually getting momentum and finding their hit markers. That's when things are really going to start to get scary for some of these kill boards.
Yeah, we do know here for Vis and friends that there's only 1 squad going to be left. They already have quite a bit of kills. At this point, it's in their best interest for efficiency. I'm not going to lie, guys. We had this debate over the last round on like whether or not you know, what are you looking to do? And these players clearly can't suicide or anything like, but it might be worth just doing very high-risk choices and getting out of this game, because I'm not sure this is worth 6 kills worth of points in these type of circumstances or more.
It's quite a bit that they found him here.
That's a good win here in the fact that they were able to find him early.
Finally.
Another one further up. Popping at the shield top.
There's 3 total. Actually, this is a big pinch onto Vis. He does have the Mastiff to be able to make it out, along with the Bangalore, not only passive, but the nice use out of the smoke, swap over the Wingman. Only 2 more shots are going to be necessary. He takes the Mastiff back. That's a bad spot to be in here.
Uses the smoke to try and get away.
That's very uncharacteristic.
Back up as well. You know they aren't expecting him to go back into the fight.
Yeah, he's
a solid juke.
Oh, wow.
It looks like Viz was, Crafty finished him off, I believe.
Really smart play there by Vis, like you said, to go down and then go back up as if he joined the fight, which gave a nice little roundabout loop-de-loo to his opponent. Was able to, not only that, but 100 damage when you're able to hit with the Mastiff is definitely going to help you out a little bit.
Yeah, the Mastiff is pretty ridiculous, but we should be considering he's actually, because that trade went so, I was going to say poorly, he might have an ammunition problem at the back end, but no, 1 bullet and a good old champion banner.
Still the 3v1. It would make a lot of sense. They finally pulled that one off. Go check in with the Broys. Check in with Shroud, Skadoodle, Justin. Justin right now at 14 kills in this game.
One's really low.
Like we said, all they need, a little bit of momentum, find their groove, and they're going to be put in a pretty good spot, as now you can see they're in a firefight in multiple parts around the map.
Still 4 squads left to go as well. They could get even more on top of this one.
Yeah, there's quite a bit there with that 14. Portal's going to be laid out now by Justin. doesn't have too many people to be able to enter on the back end. Maybe just going to set it here to help Skadoodle his way out, if you will.
He's going to skedaddle. I see what you did there.
It's a good joke.
It's one of those,
right
like,
now, folks.
you go, like, everybody said it once, and then when you hear it, you're like, oh, did you really have to?
I see DrDisrespect jumping up there. Papega has been making some decent runs here. There's Shorty, Lyric, and Seagull there with Shorty. Actually, everyone kind of sharing the kills around. Seagull carried a lot in their first game, getting 9 of their 13, but and then the next game, and those 25 kills, everyone carrying a bit of the weight.
Now, I will say, knowing how much time we've already started with this 4-hour run that these guys have, as well as the 57 points that Reed's Money team have acquired already, they are on pace to break that 400-point mark. So definitely something we want to keep our eye on, because the main, our winners from Europe, 399. 1 point away.
Well, I think that's one of the beauties of this format, right? Is like, yeah, they may not be cross-comparing in terms of the fact that they're all within the lobby, but that gives us the capabilities to cross-compare of relative to the general population what these people look like cross-comparing, right? You honestly, though, I mean, clearly everybody at home is going to be like, NA versus E, you know, the lulls around that. To be fair, to some level, we can gauge relative to the rest of the market how good is NA compared to EU in moments like this.
It's not a sample size that you're generally used to when you think about statistical analysis, but considering how many games and how many eliminations they were able to get, it is something worth noting. So I like the point that you brought up.
You guys over here talking about numbers. I'm just freaking out about longbow shots. Justin is just popping people at range.
Oh my.
There's the numbers for you. 45, 45, 45, 45. That's going to be the elimination. The wingman with the extended clip. That's going to be KO.
Yo, we need to rename this gun. It's not the wingman. It's the damn captain. It is not the second man on the ship. It is leading the charge right now, especially in the hands of Justin. That was gross.
I love that last teammate rolling in, being like, I'm coming, bro. He's just like, no, you're not. Sit down. They get the win. Now, I want to go check in with, I'm partial to probably my favorite streamer of all time, Mr. Tim the Tatman here, playing with High Distortion and Jay. And they are currently on a 21-kill game.
Now, High Distortion, mind you, a player...
Never mind, that game ended. They are now on a new game.
High Distortion, for those of you that do follow Twitch, that do follow him, actually had a contest not too long ago with Ninja on who was going to hit, I believe, I don't remember what, 100,000 kills, I believe it was.
100,000 kills in Fortnite.
He got it.
Yep.
He got 100,000 kills first. Ever since this game come out, High Distortion is a late-night streamer for those of you that live on the west coast of the United States. He loves this game currently right now. I want to see how he's able to build things up. He is playing with one of the best hype mans you could ever play with in Tim the Tatman.
One of the best flat-out streamers in the world.
Yes.
Tim the Tatman is a quality individual. And a very wholesome stream as well. If you're looking for something you just want to enjoy, to make you feel better about yourself, Tim is the place.
I think that's the angle I would give to the small amount of time that I have gotten to see Tim. It is so, like, it's chill, you know, and wholesome. An element of, like, kind of those two put together that is really nice. And, you know, it's not like he's not great at games as well.
He's in the short span that Apex has been alive, he's made a habit of singing the Apex music as he drops in.
Shotgun ammo.
We need to make a note of that, because next time he drops in, now I just want to see. Now I just want to see him actually sing that.
I mean, maybe he's in competitive mode. Like, surely the one time we tune in will be the one time he doesn't do it. But I'm super down with
his theatrical prowess is something you need to be aware of, regardless of the game.
Great.
His theatrical prowess is fantastic.
Going to this balloon over here. There was a team that landed over here.
There's a balloon close to where I left, Jimmy.
They are near the Thunderdome, which is, again, an area that we've been hinting at, but nobody ever wants to actually walk into.
Everyone keeps flirting around the edge of it.
Yeah, we're like right on the outskirts of the Thunderdome. I don't know the specific title of this kind of subsection here. It's almost like the suburbia edition of the Thunderdome itself.
Skulltown.
Yeah, there we go, Skulltown.
I got one absolute down here.
You can hear Jay with the call-outs, trying to see if he can help out. Did say he did just get one.
I feel like there's got to be audio from somewhere else there, because I didn't see his UI light up.
Yeah, they might be a little bit behind, but
they do have the biggest thing here is the caustic ultimate in this choke. Yeah,
there it is.
Give it to me, Tatman. Light them up. Leave that print on them. Oh my gosh, he didn't get that much damage out of the top left, but that ult forced that guy to jump off the top tier, turns the corner, spray and pray. Let's pray, more spray, boys. You gotta love it.
Got him.
He finds himself in a rough spot, though. He hit every single one of those shots, but because he's got the alternator, it's only doing 10 to 13 damage, so he has to end up using 2 full clips, throws the thermite grenades, a couple arc stars come out, High Distortion's able to get himself down, Tat is able to get himself yet another down, the bleed out, the full squad wipe, they get the dub.
Look at him going. Caustic was the player we saw, or the legend we saw played probably the least over in Europe. Tim has been playing nothing but Caustic so far, and he has made it clear that Caustic is his favorite character, so I expect to see quite a bit more.
Can I just say that Caustic's default execute is one of the most interesting ones. It is just a stern slap. Like, it just scoosh, and you just die.
I find Lifeline's finishers to be, like, scary. Oh my goodness, is he gonna die again?
He set down the trap. If he gets a proc in the trap, that'll help him a lot. Ooh. It's going to get some breathing room. One thing that's really cool about Caustic there, right, is even though we did see Tim clearly in a poor position, by being able to drop the traps as he's going down, it makes it far less likely that somebody wants to kind of push up and be overly threatening, because it makes it so easy for your team to come in and do exactly what we saw there.
The Broy's starting to climb the ladder a bit, getting in close, and there is, what is this, a 5-point difference between second and fourth? No, so a 10-point difference between second and sixth. There's a pretty close, tight stuff. But Reed's money team, dude, they are running away right now. A 13-point lead on second place.
Yeah, but what we've seen, if the Broys continue to keep up